Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're well. Thank you for inviting me along. My name is Sam Grayston. I'm the membership manager at Nationwide Building Society, which, as you may or may not know, is a membership organisation. And before that, I was at the Cooperative Group. And before that, I was a drama teacher. Yes. Can you tell? And while I was thinking about member engagement and representing the interests and needs of members, I was having a think about some lessons that I used to teach and some of the things that used to come up there that actually might be quite interesting and relevant for what we're going to talk about this afternoon. I'll take you through just a typical Year 9 drama lesson, for example. Okay, so we're going to do an improvisation where you're going to be working in groups, and I'm going to give you a character, a location, and the first line of your play, and then you're going to have to work out what the play is. Okay, so the character is a detective. The location is going to be a haunted house. And please, sir, every other class in Year 9 is doing this. Why can't we do something a bit different? Why do we have to do this? Okay, Fiona. Well, seeing as you're my favourite class, you get to choose a prop out of the box. You get to choose a prop as well. So you have a character, you have a location, and you get a prop out of the box as well as a first line. Okay, so your character is the detective. Your location is the haunted house. And your first line is, please, sir. Yes. Can we work in groups of our choosing? Please, sir. Please, can we work with our friends? Well, Ian, seeing as you were so good last time, yes, okay, you can choose groups of your friends, groups of your choosing, 4 to 6 people, groups of your choosing. So it's going to be a detective in the haunted house, in groups of your choosing, with a prop. And the first line, sir, can we choose the first line? Yes, okay, fine, Fiona. Give us some choice about what these lines might be. Oh, I've got one. I didn't do it. Yes, that's quite a good first line. Anyone else got a good first line? Paul, yes. The voices in my head made me do it. Okay. Well, you've got those 2 lines. Let's take a vote, shall we, class? What one do you think we should do? Yes, fair enough. I think I didn't do it is probably the better line. So you've got your detective in the haunted house with a prop from the prop box, and the first line is, I didn't do it. And off they went and made their drama. That threw up 3 really interesting questions that actually, I think, are quite relevant for what we're going to talk about for member engagement. That first question, why do we have to do this? What's in it for me? Is the sort of driving factor behind when you're trying to engage people. That second one, can I be in a group with my friends? Can I work with people I know? There is something about making members or engaging members or representing their interests by making them feel like a group of people that they know. And that third big question, can we choose the first line of the play? So it's not always about my directed stuff, but about them taking some ownership and having a voice in saying what kind of things that they think are really important. Because the problem with membership stuff, and we have this at Nationwide Building Society, we had this at the Co-op, when you've got a very large member base, so the membership base of members that we can invite to participate in the AGM at Nationwide is about 8 million people, so it's a lot of people. It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. And when actually one of the biggest differences that you can offer members is you get to vote in the AGM, it's a bit dry. It's a bit dry. So what we've been trying to think of is breaking that down and thinking more about what membership feels like. What it feels like. So not necessarily the constitutional bits that a member definitely gets, but what it might feel like to be a member of something. And then using that to drive the experiences that you offer to your members. And we think there are 3. The first feeling is a feeling of choice. Feeling that you, as a member, get to decide certain aspects about what happens to your membership. Cake, for example. The second feeling is about deserving, or exclusivity, or access to things that non-members might not get. And the third feeling is about belonging, recognizing that members feel like they belong to a community of members, and the collective power of that membership is something to be celebrated. They're big sort of conceptual themes, and I've got a little video to show you now, which certainly encapsulates a couple of these feelings. And I find it's quite often nice to think about things completely separate to our type of work and look outside for inspiration. So this is an American theatre company called Improv Everywhere, and by doing something as straightforward as using somebody's name, they're really working on some of these feelings. So if we can play the film. Just in the interest of time and moving on. You get the gist, they do it several times. Now, I'm not necessarily suggesting that you throw that kind of party for every patient that leaves your hospital, but the idea of doing something as simple as writing somebody's name down and going, welcome back, makes people feel so extraordinarily special, makes them feel like they belong. And it's a simple way of using those types of feelings to make a member of something feel like they are part of that community and they are exclusive. How do we then do that in nationwide? We don't welcome everyone into a branch, I'm afraid, like that. Maybe we should someday. We've tried to build what we do around those three feelings, recognizing that they're in a slightly different order to how we describe them. The first thing we have to do with members, to even get them to the table, to even think about wanting to engage with us, is we have to think about how we reward their engagement. And that's about the exclusivity piece. That's about take me behind the scenes, show me what else is going on, show me something that non-members can't get access to. When they've seen what's in it for them, then it's our opportunity to start demonstrating how we are different. And that's where we start to talk about our community activity. So Nationwide does quite a lot of activity, charitable giving in local communities and across the country. It works, partners with Shelter and Macmillan and the British Heart Foundation. And by talking about those things, people go, okay, I know what's in it for me. Now I see you're doing nice stuff for other people. And the third part of our work is about allowing those members to play their part. And that's about giving them a voice. So they see what's in it for them. They see that this is a different type of organisation, and they say, how can I input into this? How can I have a say in what you're doing? And when you start to take people down that journey, the people who are having their voice heard start to become advocates of what you are and why you do what you do. Now, there is a group of 300-400 people in this room who are already advocates. You are probably already people who are engaged with what you are doing and why you are doing, and you have an opportunity to tell others about why the model of membership for your trusts is better than another model of running a hospital, for example. What is engagement anyway? And this is a question that I plonked to my team a little while ago, because I was thinking about this, because our role is membership engagement at Nationwide, and I started thinking, well, what else is engaged? And I said, well, a telephone's engaged. Telephone is engaged. You are engaged to be married. The toilet's engaged. You can't get in. Engagement means to be wholly taken up with. The telephone is engaged because that telephone line is wholly taken up. It cannot accept another call. If somebody's married, they say, I am going to be with this single person for the rest of my life. Engagement, therefore, is ridiculously difficult. Ridiculously difficult. To try and expect that your members would engage with something like how you want to run your hospital is a big ask. It's tough. It should be your aspiration, but it's tough. So I think there's quite often a thing at the start of that journey where people go, we can't get people to engage with us. It's tough. And then that led me to think, well, engagement and participation are actually two separate things. Somebody can be very engaged with something. They could be enthused by the idea. They could be interested in what's going on. They could be advocate of that idea amongst their friend group, but not be participating. They don't have the time or energy or space to participate in the activities that you're offering. Conversely, you might have people who are participating a lot. So, for example, in Nationwide, we have people who talk to us a lot on Twitter, for example, about service they receive in a branch. But if they don't understand or engage with the idea that they are actually owners of that society, then the conversation just becomes about the single bit of service they had in the branch, rather than, actually, you should shape how we deliver this service across our entire society. So then that led us to think about how we communicate to members in slightly different ways. And it's split by more engaged and less engaged, or not participating a lot and participating a lot. And you can probably think of your membership groups in similar ways. In that first group, at the top left-hand corner, you do have those people who are engaged, but they're not participating. And that will probably be a vast majority of your membership base. It certainly is as ours, and if it isn't, then I'd be really interested to hear how you're moving people along. A lot of the time, they say, just keep me informed. I just want to know that what you're doing is right, and I'm happy for you to carry on doing that. They just want to be kept informed. The people who are engaged and are participating, you really need to hear their voice. You need to hear what they're saying and use that to shape the direction of what you want to achieve. The people who are not participating and not engaged, that's starting their journey. That's going back to getting them to the table, thinking about answering the question, what's in it for me? And the people who are participating but are not engaged, so like I say, at Nationwide, some of the Twitter people, for example, we need to show them what our model means. So in our instance for the Building Society, it's what a mutual means. And we use that to try and shape how we talk to our members in different ways. I was asked to just briefly describe some of the differences between the cooperative group and Nationwide in terms of how they do governance and how they try and represent the interests of members there. So I've pulled together a few thoughts and observations. The Co-op used to have a board of directors of lay members. You probably read about it in the press. It didn't work hugely well. Whoops. It's now a more professional board. Nationwide has a structure actually similar to the one that the cooperative has adopted. It's a professional board, which is voted on by members every year. At the cooperative group, they have what's called a member council. So a lot of the old board members are now on something called a council. That's 100 members of the cooperative group. They're lay members, and they are made up from constituencies across the country. And I think probably actually, just seeing that last question about who has access to the board or not, I think, because I'm still in touch with a few people at the Co-op, they have a relatively similar experience on some instances about what they can and cannot get access to in the board. Nationwide doesn't have a member council at the minute. I'm not hugely convinced that something like a member council would work at Nationwide. When we have, I say, an eligible member base eligible for the AGM member base of 8 million members, and also a wider membership base of 14 million, I don't see how we could ever get to a point where that council could be representative. I don't see how we could get enough people together to be representative of what that group of people needs. The AGM, the cooperative, has around 2 million eligible members. It's got about 3 or 4% turnout, so low. Nationwide has around 8 million members, as I've said, and about a 10% turnout. We're trying a few things this year in this year's AGM, so if you are a member of Nationwide and you get your AGM voting pack in June, then I'd be quite interested to see what you think about it. We're trying to make it relatively straightforward and streamlined so that you get the easiest way to be able to vote that you can. Some of the other activities that shape and influence decision-making, so to help represent interests. So the cooperative run events called Being Cooperative, and Nationwide run similar things called Member Talkbacks. So these are physical events in geographic places around the country where members are invited to share their views with decision-makers. The cooperative has something called the Let's Talk website, which is quite a neat kind of website where it posts themes and lets members discuss them quite openly, actually, which is pretty brave. Nationwide, that would certainly be an aspiration. We have something called a suggestion scheme at the moment, so members can suggest things through our website and also in branches, and every single one of those suggestions goes to a change board at Nationwide. Co-op has something called a local forum, which is a It kind of replaces what they used to have as area committees. So it's a very small group of activists, I suppose you would say, campaigning on local things with their local store, and they have community champions in those stores. Nationwide has something called the Connect panel, which is a research panel built up of members. Again, I think that's okay for driving business decisions. It isn't, I don't think, a hugely great way of hearing members' voice because it is a select group of people. So I think an opt-in research panel would be far more useful to hear members' voice. And also we have a citizenship strategy or a social strategy which we are developing over the next year, which we will be inviting members to play their part in. So as a final thing then, click like that, I would say if you take something away to try and think about how you're going to hear the voice of your members so that you can represent their needs, then try thinking about how you can do activities that will provide these feelings, that will make them feel like they deserve something or have access to something exclusive. Show them that they belong to a community of members and celebrate the success and power of a collective. And thirdly, give them options to choose and have their voice heard on certain aspects of things that you would like to hear about. That's me. Thank you very much. I'll hand over to Ian.